The Red Dirt D&D podcast is brought to you by Pro Laser Cuts. The Oklahoma company provides pre-made and customizable design laser cut dice towers, tokens, and more, developed by a gamer for gamers, and now available to enhance your tabletop game. Pro Laser Cuts products can be found at many Oklahoma City area game stores, local events, and now available online at prolasercuts.com. That's laser and cuts with a Z, Pro Laser Cuts. And by SD Way Gaming, where dice goblins unite. Our friends at SD Way Gaming celebrate the beautiful dice players handpick for their games and splendor. SD Way Gaming has expanded to include many tabletop gaming varieties, accessories, and similar fun necessities to include a service for your dice addiction. You can shop for a variety of products at sdwaygaming.com or find SD Way Gaming on Facebook.
Welcome to Red Dirt D&D. I'm Michael Cross, and I play Blackjack, a jackalope folk warlock.
I'm Kim Cross, and I play Beatrix, a Tabaxi rogue.
I'm Johnny Payne, and I play Twitch, a rat folk necromancer.
I'm Brooke Bullock, and I play Zionsi, a spiderkin cleric.
I'm Kiri Hester, and I play Billy, a Folsom fighter.
And I'm Connor Shenold, your DM. Join us now for Tales from the Wilds. Panic fills the ballroom as the scream echoes through the large room. In front of Billy and Twitch, a collapsed figure lies on the ground, a pool of dark red liquid beginning to seep out from underneath them. A gold filigree mask with daisies lies next to them.
Who is the dead person?
Is this the Duke?
You look around, and you all ended the dance off with your original dance partners.
So, yeah, Daisy. It is Daisy.
It is Daisy. As the panic begins to set in, Duke Orobos raises his voice. Guards, secure the entrances. Make sure nobody leaves. And then he looks over at the body, and through the mask you can see this very distraught look on his face, almost like he's not entirely sure what to do. And at this point, Mallory steps forward.
Yeah, Mallory would push her way through the group and say, "Get back, get back, get back," and try to push the dancers back as far as she can, and will kneel next to the body. And Orobas, make sure nobody leaves. They are all suspects until proven otherwise.
Of course, I have the guards on their way now. And you hear the rush of several armed people enter into the room, securing the entrance into the foyer off. There were already 2 guards blocking the way further in, but it seems for now no one is allowed to leave.
Mallory, your grace, my friend here, Zionsi, is a healer, and so maybe he might be able to figure out at least what might be wrong with her.
Yeah, Zionsi, probably since they were dancing together, just followed her toward the body.
As you go by me, I'll give you guidance.
You see Daisy's body lies on her front, her mask knocked askew. Instead of her usual gray streaked green hair, it is now fully white, and the daisies that used to be lush and vibrant in her hair are now wilted and dead.
Oh no! I look at Mallory. Is it a showrunner?
Don't. There are people around.
This is why I whispered it.
Sir Blackjack, help me and Zionsi flip Daisy so we can see.
And as I'm pushing her over, I'm also going to see if I can figure out what killed her.
As you flip the body over, you see that Daisy's features have gone pale, as if all color has been drained out of her. Her face is gaunt and withered, her mouth open in a silent scream. If you would like to give me a medicine check.
With guidance, it is just an 11.
Can I also try?
Yeah.
22.
So, Zionsi, you're just panicking. This was not what you were expecting to happen at all. Blackjack, you're a little bit more calm. You notice that Daisy was stabbed with something long and slender. And with that check, you are able to identify that it was most likely a stiletto dagger. And it seems she was stabbed through the back and straight through her heart.
But the weapon is not there.
The weapon is not there.
And she's dead.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there any life left? Is she still breathing?
No, what likely killed her was the Cena's stab in the back. Apparently, she was stabbed by some kind of stiletto dagger. It pierced her heart, killing her almost instantly.
Blackjack, also roll me an Arcana check.
15.
Her life force seems as if it has been stolen from her in some way.
But of course, just the dagger wouldn't have done the kind of damage we're looking at, especially not with the daisies.
What do you mean the kind of damage you're looking at?
I think we're talking about some kind of necrotic damage to her.
A twitch.
22.
Okay, with that, you know, Twitch, that there are some weapons that are known to steal life force, known as a 9 lives stealer, though you have never heard of it being a trait of a dagger before.
This is the work of a special weapon. Even the smallest wound can just steal the life force from you, but I've never seen it as a dagger before. It's called a 9 lives stealer.
A 9 lives stealer. I've heard of that.
There'd be no hope.
That means that there's nothing left.
Yeah, there's no hope of
There is
bringing
no
her
life
back.
to bring back anymore.
So if we can't even reach it, does it collect the life? Does it suck it into the object?
It's a 9 lives stealer, yes.
Beatrix, see if you can see any clues of where our assailants might have come from or where they might have gone.
22.
Even with that, this all happened so very fast. There's not entirely too much to go on, other than maybe asking around. Maybe people heard other things than you all did.
Mallory will stand and talk into Orobas's ear for a moment, and then, okay, if you will proceed into the dining room, we have some refreshments, and I can come around and see what we can see. And then she will, as people start to move that direction, she'll turn to the party and explain, I have had Orobas collect himself and other close members to him into the parlor next door, and all of the common nobles into the dining room. I'm going to go talk with them, see if they heard anything, but I need you to talk to these other people. They know I am a detective. They may become closed off, suspicious, so I think you, someone who's not even from Bleakburn, could maybe glean information that they would hide from me. If you could do this for me, that would be great.
Who else is left?
Orobas, Lady J, Abzul, General Colane, Rondura.
Do we want to each take one?
Hold on a moment. If you'll follow me, I can bring you to a more comfortable area. I would rather not stay in here any longer. And you see Orobas nervously glance at the body that's still on the floor of the ballroom. Following after the Duke, you follow him to the westernmost door. The guard in front quickly opens to let all of you pass. You step into the hallway almost immediately before another door. The Duke stops for a moment, reaching into his pocket and tossing something into a metal bin beside the door. The objects clink together, rolling in the basin before the sound stops and the door before you opens. Anybody want to take a look at what he tossed in there?
100%.
I'll take investigation or perception.
Billy stands
Nat
on
20 for
tiptoe.
28.
Tries to look.
You win.
So, Twitch, taking a moment, you notice that he tossed 2 dark dice with white pips resting inside. And you see both die lay with the 6 sides facing the top. We can talk in here, the Duke says, and leads you into a comfortable sitting room full of plush couches, chairs, and elegant decor. Stepping in, the Duke takes a seat at one of the couches, pulling off his mask and buries his face in his hands. I apologize, just give me a moment. I'll show you to the study in a minute. How would you like to conduct these interviews?
Well, actually, I'm wondering if maybe we all want to sit down and just do it in one group.
I think that's a good idea, too. There might be some folks who need to share some thoughts and ideas.
As his eyes look between Orobas and Abzul.
Also, anything anybody wants to say about another to mislead us might be prevented if they're sitting in the same room with them.
All right, if you don't mind. Abzul, will you go ask the guards to bring Whitaker in here? I'm going to need a strong drink. Abzul nods and takes a moment to step out and go ask the guard to bring Whitaker in here. After a few moments, Whitaker enters, and you see him step over to the side where there seems to be a mini bar set up. Whitaker begins to mix a drink and hands it over to Orobos, who quickly downs his.
I'm going to try something. I hope you don't mind. It's a little bit of a magic that I've got. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Hex. And the idea is that I'm going to put it on people and have them have give them, I believe, a disadvantage.
Charisma check.
On charisma checks. So
Okay.
there would be, it's going to make it harder for anyone to be lying.
Of course.
Who is dancing with Daisy?
That
Billy.
would be me and Mr. Tweech.
All right, let's start. And I put Hex on Billy, and I say, Billy, did you see anything before the lights went out?
I saw Daisy. She had pretty flowers in her hair, and we were talking about the butterflies, and then poof, lights.
The lights went out. And the next thing you saw
Was dead Daisy.
was Daisy on the floor. All right, who was next to Daisy and Billy?
It would be yourself and Abzul.
All right, transferred over to Abzul. Abzul, you were very close to Daisy at the time that this happened. What did you see?
Same thing as everybody saw. A whole bunch of darkness.
Insight.
Inside check. A 12 for Ziansi.
18.
He's telling the truth.
Okay. Abzul, what were your thoughts about Daisy?
Well, I've known her since I was a child. She was always nice and very pleasant.
How old is Daisy?
Yeah, was Daisy old?
She was old.
Oh.
She's an elderly Eladrin.
Oh, she is? Okay. Okay, good. Abzul, thank you very much for your time. Lady J.
Yes?
Move the Hex over. What did you see before the lights went out?
I have to be with Abzul on this one. I didn't see anything. I got a little startled when the lights went out in the room, and I just clung to Orobos.
Lady J, just one more question. You said you'd come from a village about a month away, correct?
Yes.
And don't mind me asking, how old are you?
Oh, well, I'm half elf, you see, so I'm about probably 100.
Insight check on everything she said with a 20 non-natural.
She is lying
Can I tell about what?
about being a half elf and about her age.
Remember I'd said that I'd cast a little bit of a spell to make sure that everyone was being honest, and it doesn't seem like you're being completely honest with us.
Well, I don't know about you, but from where I'm from, you don't ask a lady her age.
No, but we also don't, where I come from, don't usually have a person dead from being stabbed by a stiletto life stealer. So I need this complete truth from you. I know it will not leave this room, whatever your truth is.
I have lived for quite a while, and that's all that needs to be shared. I had nothing to do with Daisy. I was right where Orobos was.
I understand that, but you understand that right now there is suspicion on everyone in this room. And I don't want to say that you did it, but not being completely forthcoming, especially with your fiancé right beside you.
And you see Orobos reach over and grab Lady J's hand and say, I know she didn't have anything to do with this. She has her secrets, and she's allowed to keep them. Consider we don't entirely know much about your lot either.
No, and some might say it was fate that brought us here.
Fate or luck. But how lucky you are depends on my generosity at the moment.
Let me ask you this, Sir Lord Duke. With Daisy unable to play her little song to get us back down, are we all trapped up here?
For the time being, until we catch her murderer.
So I think maybe Daisy was not the end goal. He needed to, or they, we don't know. They needed to trap everybody here so that they could commit more murders.
Potentially.
So we're trapped here with a
I do
storm
have
brewing outside.
a bit of a lead. And he steps up from the couch. Follow me. And he leads you over into what appears to be a study.
Psst, Ziansi, is your whip wiggling?
No, nothing yet.
Okay, let us know.
Okay.
He leads you into the study, keeping the door to it open, as he begins to rifle through his desk. A little over a week ago, I received this letter. I didn't think much of it at the time, however, it seems this might be of some importance. And he hands it to Ziansi.
Oh, like all the letters are in different handwriting styles, sort of.
Yes, and that has made it most
Yeah, it's almost like they cut them out of parchment and then like put them back together.
unusual on who sent it to me, but perhaps they might have had something to do with Daisy's murder.
Well, it's okay if I read it out loud.
Of course.
Yeah, it says, Duke Bleakburn, you have many secrets, some that will see you overthrown. Drop off 5,000 gold at the strike of lightning to keep your secrets hidden for the foreseeable future. That's the gambling hall.
5,000 gold with what?
At the strike of lightning, which is the name of that one gambling hall. Mm-hmm. But you didn't do it.
I paid it.
You did?
I did, which is why this is most unusual.
Oh.
Not to brag, 5,000 gold isn't much.
Maybe they wanted 5,000 gold and then also to murder you.
Then perhaps I was the intended target and not Daisy?
No, I think Daisy was an intended target, but maybe you are the final target.
At the moment the lights went out, Daisy was dancing with
Me.
Your group.
Beatrix. You said that Daisy had a deep sadness about General Colleen.
She did. She had a deep sadness. She didn't go into it, but her heart hurt for what hurts his. You could tell. So I don't have any details on that. I don't know if she knew his story or if she knew him as his story was being.
Now that we are out of the
Walked through.
ballroom and away from the harp, is General Colleen acting any differently?
General Colleen, how are you acting right now?
Earlier he looked kind of upset, a little bit agitated, but now he looks happier, smiling maybe a little bit.
General Colleen, what's going on?
What do you mean what's going on right now? We're just having a grand old time.
You do know somebody died.
There's been a murder.
He sort of looks around.
Not one of us.
Not one of us. We're fine.
Oh,
General, hello, Billy, your little soldier here.
yes.
Can you introduce me to your friend? And he holds a hand out towards Oribos and see how he's going to introduce Oribos.
yeah, this is my friend Ulysses. I'm surprised you haven't met him yet.
Oh, no, I haven't met him. There was a lot going on with the dancing. And I look at Oribos.
You see kind of a sadness, but almost an acceptance on Oribos's face.
Yeah, this isn't news to him.
this isn't the first time he's mistaken him for Ulysses.
General, do you know Daisy?
I'd say so, yeah. She's the main steward of the manor.
How long have you known Daisy?
Pretty long time, I'd say.
What do you think of her?
She seems fine to me. I'd say, where is she?
Daisy is no longer with us. She was the victim.
That was whenever the lights went out, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that. That was so great. I saw this beautiful blue-skinned woman. She was playing this harp for me.
Has the blue-skinned woman been there all night? Or was it like just when the lights went out?
She appeared to me and, she was there. And for that brief second I saw her and it was great.
I'm sorry that I missed her. She sounds great. Can you tell me anything else about her? What was she wearing? A man like you's gonna know this.
I don't quite remember what she was wearing.
Was she a ladrin? Was she a tiefling? Was she a dragon?
I can't quite remember. I know she was a woman. She had blue skin, but details are a bit foggy. I guess she was only there for a few seconds, but the music was nice for that few seconds she was there.
Did she make eye contact with you? Did you guys have a moment?
Kinda, yeah, I'd say so.
How nice.
What is the general wearing?
He's wearing his general war garb. So, got a lot of medals of honor on it, medals of valor.
Does there appear to be a weapon in the shape of a dagger?
No, there does not appear to be.
General, are you armed right now?
My great axe is up in my room. I decided to leave it up there. I don't really need that for the party. And he started to pat himself down. No, I'm not armed.
With so much mystery still up in the air about who Daisy's murderer could be, suspicion has now turned towards General Colleen.
Greetings and salutations, my friends. I'm Michael Cross. So great to have a moment to talk with you during this mid-show break. First off, I want to invite you all to join us as Patreon members. The money we raise helps us pay for things like the music and sound effects you hear on the show, as well as money to go to events and make new fans. When you become a Patreon member, you get our episodes 4 days early, bonus content, access to our Discord server, and full versions of our roundtable discussions. You'll be joining other fans like Scott Wise, Don Mills, Heath Mormon, and the Lady Kate. So join us right now at patreon.com/RedDirtDnD. Another way to support us is by getting your very own Red Dirt merchandise. You can find things like hats, hoodies, mugs, and t-shirts. Just click on the merch tab at reddirtdnd.com or reddirtrpg.com. Since 2020, the Red Dirt D&D podcast has been close to another Oklahoma actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast, D20 to Curtain. And me personally, I've had a chance to work on stage with some of the actors on the show. So when you get done with this episode, you should check them out.
Hello, fellow D&Ders. My name is Jerome.
I'm Jennifer. I'm Jody.
And together with our friends Kara, Timothy, and Jared, we are the cast of the D20 to Curtain podcast, where Oklahoma theater geeks and their friends hit record and explore our new addiction to Dungeons & Dragons.
We think D&D is more than just a game. It helps us tap into the enduring power of storytelling.
We combine live gameplay with behind-the-curtain episodes to share our experiences, insights, habits, discoveries, and passion for D&D with anyone who will listen.
We hope D20 to Curtain will make you laugh, cry, maybe even make your experience at your table even more satisfying. Check us out anywhere you listen to podcasts or visit us at d20tocurtain.com or at D20 to Curtain on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
We look forward to having you. All we ask is that you have fun, be kind, and play the role.
If you're looking for more content, make sure to check out our YouTube page with Mysteries of Beatrix live every Wednesday. Keys from the Golden Vault from the Red Dirt Outlaws dropping every Tuesday at noon, and Plausible Deniability every other Thursday at 7 p.m. So come check it out at youtube.com/@RedDirtRPG or search for Red Dirt RPG on YouTube. And we would love to hear from you. Find us on social media at Red Dirt RPG. You can also get in touch with us through our website at reddirtrpg.com. In the meantime, make sure and subscribe to this podcast and leave a comment on your favorite podcatcher so others can find us. All right, I think that's everything I need to tell you. Right now, let's head back to Red Dirt D&D.
The party is in the sitting room, further in the manor, trying to figure out what has happened. And suspicions have turned onto General Colleen.
General, let me ask you a question. You're fairly familiar with weapons, I'm sure.
Oh, of course.
The blue-skinned woman. Mm-hmm. Did you notice any weapons on her?
Other than the harp, I can't say anything about weapons.
Well, Daisy was killed with looked like a stiletto dagger, but it also might have been magically inclined to be a 9-live stealer. You know what a 9-live stealer is?
Can't quite say I'm familiar with them. I think I've heard a thing or two. I definitely don't want to cross paths with one of those.
While they're talking to General Colleen, I want to Orbus, come here. How long has General Colleen been like this?
Ever since we brought him back from his captivity in the dragon.
Do you think it scrambled his brain?
Definitely.
That's very sad.
Yes.
But he has never been violent.
Other than on the battlefield, not that I know of. Ever since he's been back, his moods don't seem to be entirely appropriate. He's still with us, which is the best that we can hope for, and we've tried to get him some help.
While that whisper is going on, Ziansi leans over toward Twitch.
Twitch, did you notice that Blackjack? Did you get the vibe that Lady J was lying maybe about her ancestry?
Well, I think she's lying about a lot of things.
Do you think she might be in disguise? Maybe we should try some type of dispelling the magic that she might have or something?
Does she know she's lying?
Oh.
I don't know.
Remind me who was talking to Rondura, and it came out that if Lady J was not nobility, this would be a problem. Was that Blackjack?
That was Ziansi.
Was that Ziansi?
Yeah.
Just so I know who has that information.
Wait a minute. There's someone here who looks like Jaska.
Yeah?
But has none of Jaska's memories.
Right.
And now, during an event, everyone in this room was within close proximity to each other. Someone turned up dead.
Yeah.
What if it was this Lady J?
That she did it?
Everyone's a suspect.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if I should ask for, if there's any magical effects, if I should ask Grandma Spider to try to dispel those.
Yes.
Okay, it might cause a reaction.
We're here for you.
Okay.
Duke, we just want to cast one more spell, if that's okay, to try something out. Maybe be able to fix some of these problems that we're having.
What spell?
My friend Yancey will cast it.
Yeah, I can just ask for a little bit of blessing, maybe to get to the truth about some stuff.
Roll me a deception.
Okay.
21.
All right. I guess I'll allow it.
That'd be great.
And so the creature I'm going to choose is going to be, of course, Lady J. I'm going to cast Dispel Magic, and I think I'll try that at the 4th level. So if there is a spell effect of 4th level or lower on her, then it ends. If there might be one above 4th level, then might need to make a check.
And at the same time he's doing that, can I also cast Dispel Magic?
Yeah.
I'm casting Dispel Magic on the general, and mine has to be at 5th level, so...
Okay. That is going to be a 14, which would be the same as a 4th level spell.
Yeah.
So
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Do a Dispel Magic on him.
Okay.
Do I need to roll?
If you want.
I noticed very slyly he wasn't telling us to roll or not.
Unfortunately, yeah, because that's a 20.
Nothing happens.
On the general.
The general will look at Whitaker at this point and will say, "You, Kobold, give me a drink."
General, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good.
Who's that guy over there? And I point to the Duke.
Ulysses? I don't know why you keep asking me that, like it's gonna change.
Because that's...
Sleepwalker? Sleepwalker?
What? Say it.
You're going to make his brain explode.
What happened to the Blue Dragon?
We defeated it. I don't really remember the combat that well. My memory is a bit fuzzy, but then I remember Ulysses reaching out a hand to me and picking me up after the battle.
Right. That was the first thing you remember before you came back to the castle.
Yes.
Was Ulysses there to bring you back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what happened between the time you were fighting the dragon and Ulysses being there?
I can't quite remember. Maybe I was knocked unconscious. I mean, he was lifting me up and helping me out. I mean, maybe I got hurt.
General, how old are you? Give me a ballpark. Are you in the 200s? The 400s? Because he wouldn't remember those 200 years.
Yeah, I'm about 150.
Okay, what was the name of the Blue Dragon you were after?
I can't quite remember its name. I think it didn't give us its name. It's not like it was like, I'm a dragon, it just said rawr and tried to kill us.
All the dragons we have met like to monologue before they attack.
Usually, yes.
Right.
Usually I ask their name and they're more than willing to
maybe
tell
it
me.
did, and it's just foggy.
You see Rondura bring up a handkerchief, start dabbing her eyes, and have you all gotten any closer to figuring out what happened to Daisy?
No, but things like this don't move quickly.
You and Daisy seemed like really close friends. Can you think of anyone who might want to hurt her?
No, not that I can think of. I don't think she had very many enemies. I think her and Colleen had a bit of a history, but he doesn't seem to remember any of it. She was a bit of a private person. Maybe it might be best if you all see if Mallory got any information from the other people.
Who was Lady J dancing with when the lights went out?
Or of us. We were back to our original partners.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And she says that she clasped onto him when the lights went out.
Orboss, do you remember feeling her clasp onto you when the lights went out?
I do.
Of course he would say that. Oh, Lady J, let me ask you just one more question. And you're right, Blackjack asking you about your age is very not nice. He doesn't understand about ladies. But let me ask you this, just for records, what was your father's title?
He was the Baron.
of?
The village that I came from.
Which is named?
You wouldn't know it.
I know I wouldn't know that, but I need to write that down. It's important information. You know, when one nobility marries another, it's nice to know what two kingdoms are coming together through this act of marriage. We want to give your village the benefits of your elevation to Duchess.
Oh, well, that's very sweet of you. He was the Baron of Sandburg.
I would like to insight Duke Oribos. I am looking at see if he's uncomfortable with the answering that she is giving. Unfortunately, I just got a 3.
But I am directly talking to her, so can I insight her and see if I think she's still lying?
Blackjack, is your hex still on her?
She definitely is, but... 17.
Something feels off, but you can't quite catch.
Would Twitch want to push the Abzul Oribos discomfort? You were kind of building toward that earlier.
Yeah, but I've thought about ways to fit it into this conversation, and I can't. I also feel like just bluntly asking Lady J how long it's been since she shifted, but she's just going to play dumb.
Yeah.
And then what's that going to do for anybody?
Let's go check on Mallory. So I look over and I say, talk amongst yourselves.
Nobody leave this room.
Nobody leave this room. We're gonna go check on Mallory.
Yes, we'll stay in here. Just knock on the door when you would like to come in.
Can I telepathically reach Vin? Spider-Vin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spider-Vin.
I'm gonna send Spider-Vin into the room so he can keep an eye on them.
Okay. As you make your way back into the ballroom, heading towards the eastern door that will lead you towards the dining room, you almost bump into Lewin as he makes his way back into the ballroom. With his mask no longer on his face, you see him blink a little in surprise before he steps out of your way. Apologies, he says. Now's probably the best time to speak with Mallory as she's just finished up her questions with me. Terrible what happened to Daisy, just awful.
What did you see when the lights went out?
Not too much. I was back over by the catering tables and was watching the dance, and all of a sudden it got dark, and when the lights were back on, I heard the scream and saw Daisy's body drop. Now that I'm finished up with Mallory's questions, I think I'm going to perform her last rites. Like to do that sooner rather than later.
Do we know who screamed? Was it just like a rando? Okay. Because I imagine it would have been us.
Do you mind if my friend Ziansi join you with that? He is also a religious person.
Oh, I don't mind at all.
Yeah.
The two of you, Lewin and Ziansi, go over to Daisy's body and begin to perform the burial rites, although you can't bury her just yet. Lewin sits down on the floor, cross-legged, and begins to pray.
Zianti gives him guidance.
Sios, I'm afraid her soul might be lost, but one day it may end up somewhere in which you can reach her. And when that is the case, I hope your luck can guide her onto her next life. The rest of you step into the dining room. Most of the space is taken up by a massive central table. The table is adorned with a white cloth covered with several ornate peony centerpieces. You see Mallory seated at the head of the table, frowning down at some of the notes she's been taking during her questioning of the guests. As you approach closer, she looks up to greet you.
Mallory, we've been questioning the other guests. How have you come in your investigation?
I have got nothing. Nobody saw anything. It was dark. They were dancing, and nobody saw anything. It's very frustrating. Please tell me that you have something.
No, except for Lady J is not who she says she is. We're not talking about Jaska anymore.
So Lady J is not Jaska, but she's also not Lady J?
Lady J is Jaska, or at least she says she is. I'm saying that she is not. She says she is a 100-year-old half-elf. That is not true.
She also says that she is the daughter of the Baron of Sandburg, which sounds really made up. Do you know anything about Sandburg? Is that the real place?
Twitch, did you get an idea that there was some kind of magical thing going on with Lady J?
I don't have as keen of an ability to determine that as I like.
Okay, so Lady J is not Jaska, but she is also not a lady. Yes? Is that what is...
Right. She has been lying about everything. Now, here's the problem.
I can tell you this, if she's not a lady, if this were to get out, then the Duke would be in a very precarious situation. He could be, there are other people who would covet the Duke's power.
Right, he seems to know this.
He seems to know that she's not a lady.
Right, and so I think he's playing along with whatever's going on. Because if she was tripping around and I mentioned it, and he came to her defense. So, I'm guessing that he knows whatever it is she's hiding.
And you think that he is doing this because he is in love with her?
That's the best reason we have, but there are other reasons for someone hiding.
I mean, he would lose everything if the truth came out.
Right.
But then why would he marry her? You see, if he was not in love with her and he knew that it would put his position in peril, then why would he choose to marry her?
So he was smitten with her and then found everything out. The question is why did he get so smitten so fast?
So you think there are some kind of manipulations involved?
Yes.
Right. And I think that it might be love, which would be the most obvious answer, is that he's in love with her, which would be wonderful. But there's other reasons, maybe something we haven't quite uncovered yet.
What we lack in this case is evidence.
Right.
Here's what I need you to do. I
right.
will continue to hold the people here. Maybe we can start eating. It seems gauche with a dead body in the building, but I will keep everybody here on this bottom floor, and I need you to go upstairs and look around. Maybe you can find something that would give us actual evidence, actual things we can hold and say, look, as these evidence. Because if we don't have evidence, Rook is never going to let me become a full detective.
Right. So, we'll go upstairs, and you keep questioning the people down here. Maybe go check out a little bit more about Lady J and Orboss. That's where your attention needs to be. I do believe there's something going on with the dwarf, but personally, I think he might just be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
That is the impression that I also received.
Right. And I don't think there's anything you can do about him, but he also saw a blue-skinned woman playing the harp right before the lights went out. Now, he's also, again, probably not altogether upstairs, but that might be a clue of some kind that he just can't piece together. Just something to keep in mind. I think that's something. I don't know what, but there's something there.
The possibility is that in his mind-garbled state, maybe he saw through some kind of enchantment.
Right.
To that degree.
Saying. So keep an eye on that as you question them. Otherwise, Orboss and Lady J have something up their sleeves. We've got to uncover it as we go upstairs, and we'll figure out what's going on there.
The good news is that when Duke Orboss did the renovations of the manor, that the rooms, they become a part of the guests staying in them, and the rooms absorb some of the essence of the person, but not in a bad way. It's hard to explain, but you may be able to get into the memories of the person staying in that individual room. So maybe that will be helpful. However, the whole upstairs should be heavily guarded against guests, and I cannot help you in that matter.
So we need to try to get into the guests' rooms, and once we get into the guest rooms, there is a possibility that we might be able to see their mind movies. What happened while they were in the room? Or
some things to that effect. It is just rumors I am hearing. I've not experienced it myself. I'm not 100% sure what you will encounter, but it is possible that you may come across some evidence that isn't in the room, but is a part of the person who is in the room.
This should be fun.
Okay, I need to eat something first before we go upstairs. Can we eat and drink something before we do this?
I also want snacks.
It's been stressful. We could take a short little rest.
A short rest so I can do that? Would that be possible?
Yeah.
All right. If you can, Mallory, keep everybody here, and then we'll go up there in just a moment.
I can confidently keep these people here. Again, there are many guards upstairs, and I cannot help you with them, and I cannot guarantee that Orboss and Lady J will also stay. I have no power over them. I only have power over these people.
Let me get a short rest, and then we'll take care of it.
With the help of Mallory, you all decide to take a bit of a short rest before you continue your exploration of the manor.
Red Dirt D&D Tales from the Wilds is Connor Shenold as Jaska and our Dungeon Master, Johnny Payne as Twitch, Kiri Hester as Billy, Kim Cross as Beatrix, Brooke Bullock as Ziansi, and I'm Michael Cross as Blackjack. The showrunner for Campaign 2 is Aidan Cross. Our theme music was created by the cinemagician PJ Castillo. Our incidental music comes from Jeffrey McBride. Our sound effects and additional music courtesy of Monument Studios, Sirenscape, Describe.com, and TabletopAudio.com. Dice for the Red Dirt D&D cast provided by SD Way Gaming. You can find us at reddirtdnd.com. If you enjoy the new campaign of Red Dirt D&D, make sure to subscribe, rate us, and leave a comment. Also, tell your friends about Red Dirt D&D. You can also support the show at patreon.com/reddirtdnd at whatever giving level works best for you. Join us next time as we travel farther into the wilds.
So, Blackjack, help me and Ziansi flip Daisy so we can see.
Okay, we're gonna pushing daisies. Sorry.
That's a Twitch thing. Twitch could touch her. And
Also, anything anybody wants to say about another to mislead us might be prevented if they're sitting in the same room with them.
And then also out of character, you don't want to be alone right now because maybe you're alone with the murderer.
Murder.
Same partner you started with.
Oh, was I on Beatrix?
Yep.
Okay.
You were not on.
Settle down, Michael.
Presumptuous much.
The lights come back on.
Family show.
Blackjack.
Do you know Daisy?
I'd say so, yeah.
Ah.
Do you know Daisy? Billy waggles his eyebrows. Did you guys have a moment?
Kinda, yeah, I'd say so.
How nice. General's got it.
I still got it.
I'm trying to gas him up.
Ever since he's been back, his moods don't seem to be entirely appropriate for the situation.
Oh, so like sad at a wedding, happy at a murder.
Yeah. I need to take 2 seconds to discuss with Aiden real quick.
Oh.
You mean the showrunner?
Right?
Dun, dun, dun. What was it on Deep Space Nine? There was an episode where they were trying to get away from the soulless minions of orthodoxy. Do you remember that episode?
No.
They were going to bid on a baseball card at an auction at Quark's for Jake for his
God.
dad.
Oh, wow.
And someone outbid them, and they're like, well, who is this guy? You know, Nog was like, let's find out who he is and see what he wants. And he had these quarters that happened to be underneath Wayoon's quarters, and he was building a machine that would make cells happy because people were slowly being killed by having their cells bored to death by the soulless minions of orthodoxy. The guy was obviously insane. The Jem'Hadar were the soulless minions of orthodoxy. And it turned out where they end up getting in trouble with Wayoon, and you're like, oh my god, this big thing. I mean, you can start getting scared for. It's an interesting episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about 150.
Okay, well, let me ask you this.
Doesn't look 150.
Look at those knees, am I right?
They're more than willing
maybe
to tell
it
me.
did, and it's just foggy. I'm sorry. I'm
An old man who forgets things because you're not 150?
I'm not old.
Okay.
I'm 150.
Does any of us have a mirror?
I've got one. There's a really good chance I have one in my robe of useful items.
That's true.
Have you all gotten any closer to figuring out what happened to Daisy?
We know what happened.
Well,
We know what happened to her. So,
An attempt is
I was
being
actually
made,
gonna say
my
it in character,
lady.
but I was like, no, everybody's sad.
I think her and Colleen had a bit of a history, but he doesn't seem to remember any of it. She was a bit of a private person.
Like a history? And he waggles his eyebrows like, boom, chicka, boom, boom.
I believe so, yes.
Interesting. Seems like something a man might not want to forget.
I don't think Colleen had any choice in the matter on whether or not he remembers what he remembers. Oh, well, that's very sweet of you. He was the Baron of Sandburg.
I wonder if that does near sandwich.
It is actually sandwiched in between Sandberg
and hamburger.
Sandham.
Sandham.
That's next to Luxembourg, right?
Something feels off, but you can't quite catch.
Would it be
Exactly
uncouth for
what
me
it
to
is.
ask for the birth certificate?
I'm casting Dispel Magic on the general, and mine has to be at 5th level.
While you guys are doing that, I'm river dancing in the corner.
I'm starting to
Because
cast
I
Shadow
feel
Spawn.
left out.
Casting Shadow Spawn.